you'll see here that we've customized our brush. I mean, we took the original brush and we give it some special settings that we like. Now, this is not the exact brush that we started with. So what I want to do is I'm going to save this version. So I'll click over here and it asks us what do we want to call this, and I'll call this Movie Leaf, which is what we've made here. Click OK. And now that lives also in here. Now here was the original maple leaf brush that we've started with, and here's the one that we've customized. It's a little bit bigger. Actually, it's significantly bigger by almost 4 times. And if you look over here in the brush presets, at the very bottom of this one, you'll find that there is a preview of that particular maple leaf brush, which is called Movie Leaf. Okay, we'll talk more about what this is. It's a library of shapes and so forth. For now, let's move ahead. We're going to clean this up. So Shift F5, and I'd like you to go get the top of the list here. We're going to go get a circular brush and make this a little bit smaller. How about there? Actually, we can go even smaller than that. That's pretty cool. And we're going to set this to default color values, just black and white. Because what I want you to do is I want you to create a shape that kind of looks like a Cheeto. Let's see if I can do this. Well, it's not very Cheeto-like. Let's see if I can do another one. Now that's better. Okay. And we're going to use this to make our first custom brush. We customized the other shapes there in terms of settings. Now we're going to customize a brush in terms of the actual shape of the brush. And we're going to use a lot of the same features that we've done before. So in order to make this a brush shape, we're first going to use the rectangular marquee tool and just put some marching ants on it, like so. And we want to actually get the marching ants fairly close to the shape. If we need to move it around a little bit, we can. But my main goal here is that it's captured like this and there's not a lot of extraneous white stuff. That's okay. Now we will go down here in the edit menu to define brush preset, and we will call this a baseball stitch, or just call it a stitch. Click OK. And now you'll see that that shape now is in the brush tool. If I hit the letter B, so go to my brush tool and go to the bottom of the list here, it's right underneath the leaf brush. Okay. Now I don't need this anymore. I already have this brush, so I'm going to just delete this. Oops, I'll fill it with white. There we go. Close enough. And now we're going to customize this. So let's go to the brush panel, and did it not keep the same brush? No, it's the circular brush. We can go to over here. There we go. So that changed our brush preset, and then we can go to brush tip shape, and we will do the same thing we did before, space it out. And I said we're going to be creating some baseball stitches. Now I've set this to 134%. Your mileage is probably going to vary depending on how big you made your Cheeto to begin with. Okay, so this is pretty cool. And if you just click over here, you know, you get this. But notice it really doesn't feel like a baseball thing. It starts to, and then it kind of goes wonky there. Okay, so Command Z that. We're going to change a couple of settings. In fact, I think we're only going to change one setting, and that's in the shape dynamics. We've already changed the spacing, so the next thing is shape dynamics. And now notice what happens when we turn shape dynamics on. We get all the previous settings we've had before, and it makes all this now looks like a bowl of Cheetos, perhaps. That's not what we want. So let's reduce these back to 0. So the size jitter to 0, the angle jitter to 0, and the roundness jitter to 0. But we're going to make one change, and that is to the angle jitter, but over here in this pop-up menu that says Control, we're going to change off to direction. Notice now these changed in their rotation just a little bit. Okay, and here's what happens. When you click, well, let's make this also a baseball stitch, and baseball stitches are red. So we'll do it this way. And obviously our brush has that Cheeto shape, but now when we click and drag, whatever direction we take our brush, now notice that my Cheeto brush really isn't changing direction, but Photoshop is tracking the location of where this brush is going, and it's making the baseball stitches that way. Okay, so that was the demonstration. Let's kind of make it feel more like baseball stuff. I'll even start outside the shape. Zzz, zzz. Feel like a baseball now? You bet it does. That's pretty much it. I just wanted to show you that you can make your own shapes, and you can set them to be their own direction, the direction of where the brush is going.